Welcome to Art History. Prehistoric. Prehistoric refers to the time in Earth history before written records. Man-made objects and cave illustrations tell the story of ancient people. The oldest art studio is South Africa's Blombos Cave, and approximately 100,000 years old. Chauvet Cave in the valley of the Ardèche River in France was 30,000 years old. Ancient civilizations. Mesopotamia. It's the region between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. It's considered the birthplace of civilization. The Sumerians created a writing system using symbols to represent their spoken language on clay tablets. They depicted human figures in a realistic manner and constructed steep temples with exterior staircases. Ancient Egypt. Along the banks of the Nile River. They had decorated temples and tombs, parts of the body depicted in the most visible angle. Figures were often depicted in profile. Elaborate scenes from Egyptian life were left on tomb walls to tell about the life of the occupant. The Great Pyramid, built in Giza by King Khufu, was built in 2500 BC. The treasures of Tutankhamun were discovered in 1922. Hieroglyphics were their formal writing system using a phonetic pictograph. They also used papyrus. India, the Indus River Valley. Clay-fired bricks for building were used in 2500 BC. They had multi-storied houses, cities designed in blocks with wide streets. Harappa was their writing system, also called Indus script, of pictorial and linear symbols. China, the Yellow River Valley. They invented paper, refined porcelain, and wood block printing. They used abstract motifs and spirals to cover vessels. They carved jade, stone sculptures mostly about nature. They had thousands of characters in their writing system, and traditionally used the same brushes and ink to write and illustrate. Classical Greek and Roman is considered the birthplace of Western civilization. Examples of architecture include the Parthenon in Athens, the Colosseum in Rome. The mathematical proportions reflect this aspect of seeking perfection, and a strong use of columns, arches, and domes. In sculpture, they had statues that represented the ideal or perfect human body. They were very concerned with proportion and athletic musculature. Sculptures were covered with paint that time has worn away. Rome conquered Greece in 146 BC. They adopted a modified Greek culture and created elaborate road systems and aqueducts. The Renaissance, rebirth or in the end of the Middle Ages. Artists, writers, philosophers reawakened to ideas from ancient Greece and Rome. It began in Italy, spread throughout Europe, divided into regions and time periods. The linear perspective developed, gave guidelines to depict the illusion of space on a two-dimensional surface. Michelangelo, the Sistine Chapel, paintings in the Vatican, he considered himself a sculptor. Leonardo da Vinci worked in mathematics, science, and inventions, best known for the Mona Lisa and his painting of the Last Supper. Women were also known as accomplished artists. In modern times, it began in the mid-1850s. Impressionism, everyday subjects emphasized momentary effects of light and color. Post-Impressionism was Impressionism emphasizing the geometric forms. Expressionism was a distortion for emotional effect, evoking moods and ideas. Cubism, images or objects broken, analyzed, and reassembled in the abstracted form and included sculpture. Surrealism, unexpected juxtapositions, bizarre, incongruous, and irrational. Contemporary art after World War II. We saw abstract expressionism, which was the first American art movement characterized by a desire to convey powerful emotion through paint on large canvases. Pop art, using an aspect of mass culture like comic books. Op art, using optical illusions. Minimalism, using extreme simplicity, and postmodernism in the present day.